Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to the 2025 season opener for the National Rock Racing Association. We are so excited to be kicking off this season here at Windrock Park. We're in Oliver Springs, Tennessee this weekend. I've got my host, Matt Holt, up here with me. Matt, tell us what you're thinking about the course that we've been looking at out here today and the things that we're looking forward to moving into the season.
Again, we all remember last year being here where the side-by-side was a great day, and then rock bouncers between side-by-side and rock bouncers, we got about 4 inches of rain. So right now, I think everyone is just like, let's pray all the rain holds off, and we have a nice, great day of racing. Season opener, everybody's been testing and tuning and thrashing to get all those rigs coming in with hoping all the parts show up. So I think that's one of the biggest thing is everybody get everything out. This is like you said, the season opener, getting out here, feeling it, wanting to get the rigs out, kind of do some bashing on them, see how all those changes work or don't work. So I think that's one of the biggest things in, and just getting some seat time in, getting a little comfortable, and kind of knocking the cobwebs off.
Yeah, and we've got our UTV Stock and UTV Cup classes kicking off today. Tomorrow, we've got a real full day of racing because we've actually added 2 new classes, or kind of subclasses, into the lineup. We'll have our UTV Bounty and our Bouncer and our youth classes as usual. And new for this season, we have a teen/amateur class. We wanted to have a place for those that had raced our youth class and aged out of it, or maybe if you're brand new to the series even, but fall in that under 17 age range, want to jump in on that. So we've got a handful of drivers in that class, and then we also have our limited bouncer class for this season. What are your thoughts on that?
I'm really excited. Again, we had talked to this for quite a while and kind of kicked the idea around. One of the things is looking for a way to get new drivers involved with the sport and still kind of keep that class somewhat economical. I know any type of racing, I don't care if you're doing go-karts or rock bouncers, monster trucks, it doesn't really matter.
Pogo sticks.
Yeah, pogo sticks. We got all the mods on those, so like I feel like, keeping it economical is really hard. So we came with this class and gave some options as well as some rules, a couple choices they can make with some of the rules to kind of make their vehicle work to that budget, and again, come out and do some racing. I'm really, really excited. I know we have at least one driver has bumped down to that class, do some racing. Mm-hmm. We have some new drivers who have bought bouncers to join that class, so I'm very, very excited. And again, I think we're going to see, as the season goes on, I think we're going to see that class grow and hopefully get some new guys in there and have some new racers, have some fun. And plus, we might have a few older racers, I've heard, that are going to come back because of that class. So fingers crossed that all goes well.
Yeah, the technology has changed so much over the last few years, and the hills, we just keep pushing the limits on everything.
Yes.
So, to keep it, like you said, economical, we want to keep the competition there, but we want to keep it open to as many as possible still, too. So having both the unlimited bouncer class and now also the new limited bouncer, you guys might wonder what the requirements are for limited.
Yes.
It'll be no rear steer.
Yep.
And then they have to have 2 of these 3 requirements: an OEM engine block, no power adders, and single shock per corner.
Yeah,
so
and again,
2 of those 3.
Yeah, again, and like you said, they gave options there. So no rear steer, and you can have rear steer in the buggy. You just have to block it off. Typically, guys will buy have like a 6-inch piece of aluminum or like a polyurethane. They'll bolt on the side, and that way the rear steer is disabled, even if it has the option on the buggy, and that way you can still race that class. And then again, 2 of those 3, and you can have 2. As long as you meet 2 of the 3, you're okay. So if you had a power adder, as long as it's a stock block, with the bypass shocks, you're okay. There's several things you can do to still meet the class, even if you're kind of on the edge. And again, it's designed to kind of help drivers get in, as well as keep it somewhat budget friendly for guys wanting to come and join the sport, or have a rig that maybe sitting in the barn they've been wanting to race for a while. But
maybe an older model rock bouncer.
Yes. And again, some of those guys, I think that for a while have really wanted to jump in and help with that. We can help out with that.
Yeah, so we're looking forward to that. That'll be tomorrow that we're going to have all those classes. Like I said, today's UTV Stock and UTV Cup to kick off the 2025 season. I believe that we are going to have Justin Hoback on the line starting things off. And we want to tell you guys as well that though we are on all our platforms right now, we are going to be on Rock Racing TV, YouTube, Rock Racing TV on YouTube. There is a link in the comments here, so you guys can just head on right over there. I believe we are just about to kick things off. I know we've got Justin on the line. One thing new for Justin this season, not only is he racing in our UTV stock class, but he's also going to be jumping in the limited bouncer class.
And again, I'm super excited because that dude has been just an absolutely monster racing so far. So I'm super excited to see him kind of coming up and doing some stuff with it. So I'm really excited about that. And again, I think Justin will be a great guy, and he's one of our guys. Bought a bouncer, kind of get familiar with the sport, come in, have a good time with it, and just really be really very sound with that.
Yeah, so we're going to be right back with Justin kicking off this season right after this. Be sure to tune in on YouTube.
The Mickey Thompson Premium Mud Terrain is on the road and full of undisputed attitude. The Baja Boss MT. No compromises, ever. We are purpose-built tires for truck and Jeep enthusiasts everywhere. All mud tires are not created equal, and here's the proof. Powerfly XD construction, asymmetrical tread design, extreme side biters, and more. Find your tire size today at MickeyThompsonTires.com.
All right, we are back. Again, we got Justin sitting on the line. We just talked about him entering that new limited bouncer class. We're excited about that. And again, shout out to everybody helping with that class. I know we talked to quite a few drivers. Clyde talked to some other people that possibly were looking in the class. I know little Tim Bacon was talking to a bunch of his friends that have buggies that maybe haven't done racing and don't want to necessarily make the big leap to hop in with all the big dogs, especially guys who are super competitive. With Timmy taking some time off, allegedly, I think that class may be very competitive. And we had some guys last year that top 3, top 5 was so hard to crack into. You know, having that limited class is really handy.
Yeah, and we'll get to see a lot more from that tomorrow. And like we said, that Justin Hoback, who's on the line right now, will be in that limited bouncer class tomorrow. So you'll be able to catch him racing again. Justin is starting things off. If you're just joining us, welcome to the show. You are watching Hillside Live for the 2025 season opener here at Windrock Park in East Tennessee. Justin Hoback kicking off the day of racing with our UTV stock class. This rig, fairly new for Justin racing as well. He started in it last year. How many races did he run in this one last year?
He did a few.
Again, end of the season.
Yeah, we saw him going from that 4-seater that he was used to seeing him out roughing around in. Again, Bertha, definitely doing well in that. And Justin's him and his brother both. They built a UTV and raced hammers with it. So these guys are no stranger to getting out there and getting it done with any type of vehicle.
Well, you guys also saw Justin racing in the VIN class last year with the WT.
Yeah.
He's moving things on up even more to the bouncer class this year. No more WT for now. Oh, she's still here. She's ready to put in the work. Just not out on the racetrack.
Yes.
A 6'1.514 for Justin Hoback, our first time of the day. Thank you guys for joining us here on Hillside Live. Make sure you are on that Rock Racing TV YouTube channel so you can catch all this action live.
And that's what I'm doing right now. I'm headed to my social medias to share it. That way everybody knows where they can find it. Also, again, if you head to the normal Rock Racing TV page, you can also see the link there in the comments where you can check it out. All right, they're making sure we got a course clear here. Making sure we got a course clear, checking all our flags. Again, Justin was our very first run of the season. Super excited to see those guys coming out.
And this is Jacob Bates on the line now. Believe this is his first time racing with us here with the NRRA. You guys are watching round 1, driver number 2 of the UTV stock class. I see we've got a few people tuning in on the YouTube channel. You guys go ahead and tell us where you're watching from. We like to see where all the rock racing fans are tuning in from.
Again, you cannot tell by just a view, but these hills are so steep. My dad got out and walked them with me this morning. He's like, man, these are way steeper than they look. I'm like, that's what we say all the time.
I know, that's what we're always trying to tell people. They're way steeper in person.
Got a lot more respect for Mr. Hoback. He made that look easy. Turns out it's not.
Well, yeah, the mud there
that
stuck
drone
to the
hanging in there.
Stuck to the drone there.
In more ways than one.
Yeah, it's true.
As always, we are making full use of this hillside here at Windrock. The courses are going to be running all different ways, so I hope the drivers did their homework and studied up on their course maps real well. It looks like Jacob Bates is through the finish line.
That's an 85.877 from Mr. Jacob Bates.
That brings him into second place. Not too shabby. Now.
All right, I see we've got Utah, Tennessee, Kentucky, Ohio, Missouri, North Carolina, South Carolina tuning in. Thanks for checking in, everybody. Welcome to Hillside Live. Brandon Davis coming off that starting line now. Brandon had a second-place finish for the 2024 season in our UTV stock class. And he is also our featured driver today. Yes, we are continuing our featured driver Friday. Just something that we have fun with as a way to recognize so many of the drivers that are in the series out here. So Matt and I pick one for each Friday show, and we call them our featured driver Friday. So, excuse me. So today that is Brandon Davis with Davis Racing. You guys will see Brandon out in the bouncer class again tomorrow. Although new for this season, we will not be catching him in the UTV Cup class.
Yes.
He's paring down the race program just a little bit.
Yeah, he said racing 3 classes in the same weekend was just so much to learn the courses. There's a few times that he was in the bouncer and made turns and he had to stop and back up because he was following the UTV course, not the bouncer course. So he said, I want to back it off to where I just race one side-by-side and one bouncer course. Still come out, have a good time with it. Looks like he was like skeeching through the finish line there.
Well, speaking of coming out and having a good time, 55.520 is an excellent time right now for Brandon Davis, setting the bar high. That means Justin Hoback with a 61 is in second right now, and then Jacob Bates with an 85 in third. We do have Jay Stortz on the line.
All right.
Again, Jay Stortz, I was talking about his side-by-side. I was talking to him yesterday on the way here, and he said the Razor has had a beating. He said we beat it up really bad because we didn't do a lot of maintenance like we probably should have. He said it's looking like one sad pup right now. But he said definitely it's been a good time, so he's out here racing the UTV class as well.
I feel like everybody's got something in the shop that's your vehicle. You just beat on it, and it never really gets the maintenance it needs.
Yeah.
But, uh-oh.
You know what?
Don't stop there.
Back that thing up and dump it.
He is getting it.
We were reminiscing a little bit earlier about Jay racing in the bouncer class last year and I think the year before and having a little tough luck with the trees here at Windrock. As you can see, there's a whole lot of them out here on our hillside. So hopefully that is not the case this year.
Man.
Jay is from Perryville, Missouri, and he is the owner of Jay's Firewood and Mulch. He delivers lots of firewood, installs multiple options of mulch for residential and commercial, full landscaping service, and a full tree service.
Wow.
There's a reason why he's in all the trees out here. He just can't help it.
He's been in a few of them. He's knocked a few down out here before.
There we go. It's a tough little razor.
It is.
It has to be in the Stortz fleet.
But it's true. It's true. Again, any of our racers are not real what I would call gentle on some of their equipment, you know. They tend to push a little bit harder.
These vehicles are here for a good time, not for a long time, Matt.
It's true. It's true. Scooby's Doobies ask, are these the same hills for tomorrow? They kind of are. We have the same area we'll be racing tomorrow with the big bouncers.
It'll all be here in this same hillside. The courses will differ slightly for our classes, for each class tomorrow.
Yes, they'll be kind of getting out here and getting it done on the same area, but not necessarily the exact same hill.
Go the right way.
So I think Jay missed a turn. He's got Daniel Heckley out there trying to get him sorted. So speaking of how we have multiple courses out here all in this hillside, and I mentioned earlier, I hope the drivers studied up on their course maps carefully. Clyde sends out a map for each class a day or two before, and then, of course, the drivers all have a chance to walk the hills before the races start and even do some pre-running if they want to. We did have a couple buggies already break during pre-running this morning, though, so not every driver chooses to take advantage of pre-running. They want to save their vehicle just in case. So it's got its pros and cons.
Some guys choose not to because they're worried about breaking stuff. Other guys don't because it's like a superstitious thing. It's like wearing socks, the baseball players that always wear that same lucky pair of socks, Okay, so this run, we appreciate Jay, and he did a great job running. Unfortunately, he did not correct it before he crossed the finish line, so he will not get a time for that one, but definitely got out there, got some seat time,
So the rule is once you cross the finish line, your run's over. If you realize you missed a turn and didn't do the course right before you cross the finish line, you can turn around and go back and finish it the correct way. But once you cross the finish line, then that is considered finished at that, or your run is done at that point. Dylan Dowler. This is not what we normally see him racing the stock class in, and that is because he is unfortunately one of those I mentioned earlier that already had some breakage during pre-running this morning.
Yes, and someone offered him this rig, and he said, "I will send it. Do not offer me. I will."
I think this is Casey's.
He said, I will definitely send it. He said, don't offer it unless you want the wheels driven off that thing. And they said, I don't care. He said, okay.
We'll see what happens. Dylan had a third-place finish in the stock class for the 2024 season. So he's coming off of that, carrying some of that momentum into this new season, hopefully.
And making quick work of these hills here. Can have that longer wheelbase helps you when you're climbing, coming down. Turns, not so much.
No, you got to plan ahead for those.
Yeah. Oh, wow. Just getting it through there.
.988. That is currently a second-place time for Dylan Dowler. That just goes to show, don't discount the four-seaters. Those things are more capable than you think.
They are. Yeah.
Big Booty Judy's been put through the ringer on a race course a time or two. And, it always amazes me what you can do with those machines.
All right. We got Dan Carter pulling up to that race line starting gate.
He brought one fan. I heard her.
Again, Dan Carter coming from that Rock Life Off-Road crew. And again, Dan has raced 3 different vehicles in 3 different classes. He is an OG UTV guy. Has always been out there bashed on stuff, getting it done.
Plus, Dan is just an all-around fun guy to be around.
He really is.
The whole crew, Dan, Jody, Bryant, they're a fun crew to hang out with. We call him Danger Dan.
And again, he
never know what he might do out there.
He does live kind of dangerously when he's in the, especially his new tube chassis rig. He's been getting, even the first race out with that thing, he was definitely full send there. They brought that to Rush Off-Road Park in Rush, Kentucky. Unveiled that last year on my birthday. It was pretty great. That's a 69.487 from Mr. Dan Carter.
Hey, sorry.
All right, so Brandon Davis is currently in the lead with a 55, followed by Dylan Dowler with a 57, Justin Hoback with a 61, Dan Carter with 69, and Jacob Bates with an 85, and then Jay Stortz, unfortunately, with a DNF We are we're about a third of the way through round 1 for UTV stock class. If you guys are just joining us, welcome to the show. Welcome to Hillside Live here. We're at Windrock Park in Oliver Springs. That's East Tennessee. We're pretty close to Oak Ridge.
Yeah.
Most people are, have at least heard of Oak Ridge before.
Yeah, Knoxville.
About the atomic bomb.
Yeah.
A little history.
That's true.
A little history there. If you don't know about it, go Google it.
Yeah, it's kind of cool. I watch them. I'm more of a movie guy, but, reading is good, too.
Don Curtis out on the course now.
And if you recognize that name, he was our inaugural VIN class champion.
That's right. Old Bigfoot.
Yep. I keep telling him, bro, you can take all those parts and build a bouncer. He's like, we're waiting on a chassis. I said, dude, your brother's a fabricator. You can build one. He's like, he's really busy.
Oh, man.
I was like, I'm telling you. I said, all you need is a pile of tubing, a bender. He goes, we already have bender. I'm like, what are you waiting on? I know his mom was always like, well, we'll see. His dad was like, come on, we're going to do it.
He's going to show up at our next race with a full-blown bouncer.
Yeah. I would not be sad because I think he would do, after watching him drive that Chevy, I think he would do just fine in a bouncer.
Well, even moving into the stock class, last year was his first season racing UTV stock with us, and he had a great season. He's obviously got a great run going right now, so branching out away from the VIN class it's been pretty fun to watch. They had a long drive to get here,
they
too.
do.
I think they come from, Kansas?
Yeah. And it's like
12 hours?
And it's like the west side of Kansas, too.
71.807 for Don Curtis. Yeah, a lot of our drivers, we're kind of all scattered around southeast, midwest-ish. So some races, usually at least 1 or 2 races ends up being close to you, no matter where you're located.
Unless you're from Illinois.
Unless you're Matt. Or Nick Reich.
Yeah, I can't whine at all.
From Wisconsin.
Because whatever my drive is, he has to add 5 hours.
Yeah, that's crazy. But that just goes to show the dedication, and commitment that is required to race the series. Definitely want to give that shout out to our seasoned drivers that make it to every race. This is Cohen Ellison out on the course and saving it already. Nicely done.
That's not going to help him win, but man, it was cool.
He's going for the highlight reel.
He really is.
Not with that, with the part down here. Come on, back up. Back up. Hit that thing like it owes you.
This is Cohen's first full season to race with us. He only got to race in 3 events last year. He says that they went to watch Cooper Bentley and then knew he wanted to try it, and I guess we got him hooked because he's back for this full season now from Clanton, Alabama. Glad to have him out here and able to get in on the fun. He would like to give a shout out to Hillier Law Firm, Boggs Welding and Fab, Super Synthetics, The Powder House, Limitless Graphics, and Southern Oak Construction for helping him with his race program. And one fun fact about Cohen that I didn't know is that he's an avid duck hunter. So he says you can catch him in Arkansas every weekend in November through January.
And it really does take a village to keep one of these race rigs going. Again, between maintenance things and fixing repairs, fixing the cage, again, it does take a village to keep some of these rigs going.
I think he's got it. And it's hard to tell from down here. Man, we're so grateful for all of our multiple camera angles and the drone shots that we have, but it is still hard to make out all the parts of the courses out here. So obviously there is something in that middle of the hill that has given everybody but Justin, I think, and Brandon some trouble so far in our UTV stock class. But glad to see that Cohen made his way through it. He is ripping around the rest of the course now.
That's a 159.311. And we do have a quick replay brought to you by Amsoil Action Shot.
A little bobble, but a great save from Cohen. I'm glad to see him make his way through the finish line. Cody Kaysen out on the course now. Cody was our 2024 season champ for the UTV stock class. So he is no stranger to ripping around these courses. Cody also was our recipient of the 2024 Bobby Tanner Award, which speaks more to character than even your racing skills. So we were glad to be able to award that to him last year.
Ooh.
And he is tearing through this course.
He is flying through there.
Cody has been racing for 4 years. You guys probably recognize that his brother Clay Kaysen races with us as well.
Wow.
And this time is going to be tough to beat, y'all. 50.527. That is your new leader for round one currently in our UTV stock class. We are halfway through round one. Cody now sitting in that first place spot with a 50, followed by Brandon Davis with a 55 and Dylan Dowler with a 57. That was a heck of a run from Cody Kaysen.
Yeah, again, those Kaysen boys are definitely championship racers. I mean, they are always absolutely getting out there and putting it down.
We've got new to the series racer Bert Sebi out on the course now.
Again, that little rock pile these guys are jumping over, it doesn't look like much, but we've already seen some.
Oh,
wow.
Oh, he almost stuck the landing. I give it about an 8.5.
Yeah, broke something in the front steering, too.
I saw blue plastic fly up in the air. Oh, man, that was a hard lick.
Let's go down there and get him checked
Good
out.
news is you can see it only takes about 4 guys to flip a UTV back over, so it's pretty quick.
That is one of the benefits.
The downside to again, we always talk about the power to weight ratio of the bouncer versus UTV. The downside to having that really lightweight power to weight ratio is that some of the parts are lightweight, which means when you do hit a stump, they don't live very long. That's the downside. And when big bouncers come by, they have, we have like 3/8-inch plates on all our stuff. We have, 1.5-inch heim joints, these big, massive parts. You can hit stuff like that, and it kind of takes a little more abuse. Some of the lighter duty stuff that is designed to more go fast doesn't necessarily take some of that so much.
Well, let's check out that Amsoil Action Shot. Get a quick replay. Oh, man, yeah, that was a hard hit. Hate seeing that for Bert, especially his first time out here.
Yeah, again, we talked about that power to weight ratio with the side-by-sides. They are much better. That's why we see the side-by-sides. Some of the bounty guys can have a comparable time with our big cars. Mm-hmm. The only downside is that they don't really take abuse like some of the big cars.
Well, and if you race multiple classes and you get used to driving a bouncer, you have to remind yourself that you can't drive like that when you're in a side-by-side.
Yeah. Again, it's especially the side-by-sides do have a lot lower center of gravity. So, even a small tree jump is definitely going to possibly break some parts. Again, I always look at like the A-arms, trailing arms. Some of the linkage parts up front are very small, ball joints. I know there's a lot of companies that have come out with making much bigger, better parts, which, again, you can kind of go into some of that stuff a little harder, push a little harder, which I know a lot of our racers have started building their own parts or working with builders to work on that. And that's always a great thing to see, guys who are helping push the sport. That way, guys who are weekend wheelers are going, hey, all the racers know these parts last, so let's stick with those. So that's always great to see. I know, like I said, Brian Dunnigan has really helped. Great job with Rock Life Off-Road helping do that. So we appreciate all those guys out. But, sometimes they don't always take as much abuse as as you hope so.
This is definitely where parts get tested out here.
Yeah, very much so.
Push to the point of failure sometimes, but that's how they become stronger. Innovation.
Not always how you want to test some of your parts, but sometimes it does happen.
Yeah, whether you're trying to or not.
Yeah.
Well, while we work on getting Bert recovered, we're going to take a quick commercial break, and then we'll be right back to carry on with that UTV stock action.
The Mickey Thompson Premium Mud Terrain is on the road and full of undisputed attitude. The Baja Boss MT. No compromises, ever. We are purpose-built tires for truck and Jeep enthusiasts everywhere. All mud tires are not created equal, and here's the proof. Powerply XD construction, asymmetrical tread design, extreme side biters, and more. Find your tire size today at MickeyThompsonTires.com.
So we were a sponsor of SRRS in 2012, the first year, and we built our product to the racers. They had a need, and we had a solution. They were breaking parts, breaking axles, and we were able to build the strongest axles on the planet for them. We developed the Big Bell CV over that period of time as well, which is the 40 spline, 47 spline stuff that you see in a majority of the rock bouncers. And we've also developed UTV for the UTV buggies and the stock class racers. We've got products for that as well. So we've really utilized this racing to develop and work with these guys the best product available. So over the years, we've worked really closely with drivers like Tim Cameron. He's been very helpful helping us develop this product line for the UTV, the rock bouncer, and he's been quite successful himself doing the racing, as well as a ton of others. We couldn't be here without these guys testing our product and doing these things, pushing us to the limit to help them push them to the limit.
Rebirthed from the depths of Baja, Mickey Thompson Tires announces a new American mud terrain legend. The new Baja Legend MTZ. Silica reinforced T4 tread compound. Powerply 3-ply construction. Improved 4-pitch side biters. Proven MTZ tread styling for undisputed traction. 35 different sizes, and one is just waiting for your rig. The Baja Legend MTZ.
Just want to do a little.
And we're back here to the 2025 season opener. Right now we're running UTVs. We've got about a half a dozen guys done, maybe a dozen guys done, about a dozen more to go. We're about midway through our UTV stock class, although some of these rigs are pretty wicked for stock rigs. Me and my dad were walking them this morning, and he goes, some of these rigs aren't really stock. I said, well, they do have some liberties. They do have some liberties. They can change stuff. They're stockish. They can bolt on some parts, so.
Stock adjacent.
Yeah, stock adjacent. I like that. They're stock adjacent, So definitely they're pretty sweet rigs down there. And then obviously our Cup Series guys are pretty radical. So
there goes Clyde and Stella.
Is he in his pocket?
No, he's walking Stella.
Oh, so I've walked up and seen Stella poking out the top, or it is. All right, we're going to check out that Amsoil action shot here real quick. And again, just tagged right there in that center diff.
So I think it's a rock that was sticking out there.
Okay, that would make sense because that.
Oh, it's a tree stump, and he thought it was a rock that he,
It definitely
didn't think it was going to cause that much of a problem.
I didn't either.
For sure.
I thought he hit the tree and kind of bobbled up.
All right, we do have course clear now, and we've got Dean Robbers on the line. Dean Robbers, another new name on the list this weekend. We've got several new drivers spaced out across our classes this weekend. Glad to see some new names, see some new faces out here. We always love having new drivers come in and join in the fun. And now that we have even more classes running this season than ever, that means there should truly be something for everybody that wants to come and wants to find a way to get involved. If that's you and you're thinking about what class you could jump in, you can always go to go to nationalrockracing.com, and you can find out all about the classes and their requirements on there, as well as our schedule of events for the rest of the season, and lots of other fun tidbits, some merch, some driver profiles, stuff like that. So that's nationalrockracing.com. This is Dean Robbers working his way through the course right now. Thank you guys for joining us here on Hillside Live. This is the 2025 season opener. Here we are at Windrock Park in East Tennessee this weekend. We are so glad that it is not muddy like it was last year here.
Yes.
Everybody is so appreciative. And we are excited to be here and be kicking off this year's race season.
He's got a nice smooth run going here.
He's got a great run going. Let's see what that time is.
All right, that's an
80.860 for Dean Robbers. All right, Scotty Harden on the line now. Scotty, not a new name, not a new face out here. He's been racing with us several seasons now. In our UTV stock class.
And that rock pile there coming up, that SCS rock pile, it's like a giant speed bump. Now, when it comes to the bouncers tomorrow, I don't know how much speed bump it will be, but
we've seen some people getting crazy on the rock pile before. At the Battle of the Bouncers just this past what was that, November? We had some interesting action on the rock pile.
It was pretty wild. I didn't make it that event. I had something else going on the same weekend, but I did watch the videos after. Charles was here with High Octane Films, and he had some great content he was putting out. And there were some wild rides. It looked like a few drivers putting on the maximum here at Windrock Off-Road Park in Oliver Springs, Tennessee. So it was host of our kind of last. It wasn't a part of our Cup Series, but it was kind of a fun event called Battle of the Bouncers, and then our season opener here this year. Still a little bit chilly, but it's way warmer than it was a few weeks ago, so I will gladly take it.
Not 6 inches of mud, so we'll take it. Taylor, did you catch that time?
.188.
Not bad, not bad. Cody Kaysen still sitting squarely in the lead with a 50, followed by Brandon Davis with a 55 and Dylan Dowler with a 57. Our top three are currently holding pretty steady. We've got Robert Trainer out on the course now.
And he came up to me this morning and said, hey, I just want you to know, don't make fun of me too much. I'm going to break the beam. And I was like, oh, man, what happened? He said, I broke a brake line coming down the hill, ripped it off the buggy. And he goes, I went back. We tried to pinch it. We tried to bleed it. He said, I went through like a whole bottle of fluid trying to get it to get brakes. And he said, I couldn't. I was walking back up here with my little cheeseburger and all my snacky snacks. I look over and somebody had a brake light and they were walking over to him. And I was like, yay!
Nice. I was going to say, this is a lot more than breaking the beam.
Yes. So they had a handful of braided lines and they were trying to see which one was close enough to make it work. So
nice.
Super happy from Mr. Robert Trainer.
Gotta love that trackside ingenuity.
Yes. They made something work because he is out there getting it. And he said you need a maximum amount of brakes for these downhill sections.
Yeah,
so
he's not wrong.
You definitely don't want to be flying down this hill and have less than brakes than you need. So.
All right, let's see that time.
That's a
59.474. Great run from Robert Trainer. Not quite breaking into that top three. That is a fourth place spot currently. We've still got a handful of drivers left to go.
Got
with
Daniel
Heckley sitting on that race line, starting line.
Can appreciate Raceline for our inflatable starting gate here. We appreciate them. For those of you who remember old metal one, we had to put up and down to power wash it after we got done with the course. You know, some of the
Daniel Heckley, of course, also racing in the bouncer class. And we also have the two littlest Heckleys that will be racing Dallas and Blake in the youth class tomorrow.
We have the bacon bits. I feel like we have to find a nickname.
We got to find a similar nickname
for the little Heckleys.
The hecklers.
I love it. The hecklers. All right. See what Daniel's time's going to be. Daniel, watch him race tomorrow. That's a 57.407 for Mr. Daniel Heckley.
Ooh, that is enough to edge out Dylan Dowler for third place right now. Dylan had a 57.9. Daniel with that 57.4 now. So that means Cody Kaysen's still in the lead with a 50, and then Brandon Davis with a 55. Now Daniel Heckley with a 57.4, and then Dylan with a 57.9. And we've got Coy Chappell on the line.
Again, Coy's new wrap is pretty great, and it has teal in it.
Yeah.
So
well, we know that you're loving that, Matt.
He said, I just want to do something different. I said, trust me, I know. So
Matt gets that more than anybody.
I do. I love it. He said, I just wanted something cool, something kind of stuck out, something different. He has like a golden cage, which is incredible. His cage is very, very cool. You have to check it out. And it kind of sparkles in person, so you have to go check it out.
Hey, we're all about a flashy wrap and a pretty cage.
Yes.
Unfortunately, it's not helping him get over this spot on the hill, but I've got full faith that Coy's going to figure this out. Coy was actually our 2024 UTV stock fourth place winner overall. So last season, fourth place in the stock class. The new rig, the new look. We'll see what it does for him here this 2025 season.
I go in. We always tease him with his Coy Chappelle. It's French.
That's when he's feeling fancy.
And then naturally Zach will be like, "Don't try to church it up, boy." From the famous movie Joe
Poor
Dirt.
Coy. Unfortunately, when you play the game of telephone and one person says something, but then later down the line it's not what it started out as. That's how Coy gets his last name got turned into Chappelle. It is in fact Chappell, but we joke now. When he's feeling fancy. It's Coy Chappelle.
Yes.
But if you guys hear that over the over the
Coy Chappelle.
Zach's announcing.
Yeah.
That would be why.
My dad and another buddy of mine, Dave, from my hometown, are here. A couple of guys that are from local Illinois, Central Illinois guys are here, and they're like, "Hey, that's a cool racing." He said, "It's Danielle Heckley." I said, "No, it's Daniel." And then when he finished, Zach, who's one of our announcers here, who talks to the crowd, is always very honoring and silly. He makes lots of jokes. For those of you who've been to our races, know that Zach is a guy that is just very honorary. But we have a lot of fun. He keeps the crowd entertained for hours, especially even when it's cold and wet and rainy. So when he finished, he said, "Daniel again." They go, "No, he just said it again. It's a girl." I said, no, you can't.
We're like, no, trust us.
You can't believe anything Zach says, especially if he says it on a mic. You cannot believe Zach. You cannot believe anything he says on a mic.
That's why we do our very best to get everybody's names and information right here on the show. But you know what? Stuff still happens. So we'll try and set you straight as we need to here.
Yeah, you can't. Don't listen to Zach.
There is, in fact, nobody named Danielle out here racing this weekend.
What's even worse is I'm the guy that got backed into a hole in front of an entire crowd once. Just like, yeah, you're good. A little bit more. About the time the whole buggy just fell into a hole, and then he laughed and laughed.
You got to take everything that Zach says with like a truck full of salt.
It is, and then I look up and the whole crowd is laughing. Everyone is laughing. Yeah, I think he thought that was funny, and then I realized I was in a massive hole. I was like, all right.
Oh, he definitely thought it was funny.
It was off course, so it was okay, but he thought it was.
I don't think that Coy's thinking anything's funny right now out on the hill, though. Unfortunately, I haven't been able to tell what exactly happened up there. He was going, and then he wasn't. We haven't heard over the radio any specifics yet, but we'll share that with you guys if we do. Thank you to everybody. Truthbot says, "Wonder how long it is until these machines are sold to unassuming buyers thinking they're getting a decked out low mileage machine for 20 grand. Technically, you are getting a decked out low mileage machine.
I love that he put low mileage.
Through the ringer.
Technically they are.
Those miles were rough though. There might only be 50 of them. But woo!
I think of like the meme where the guy slaps his hood and he's like, "Yeah, only driven to grandma's house on Sunday." I'm not sure what happened there, but he got it fixed, whatever it was.
He is moving. We are glad to see it. Come on, Coy.
And these are super steep hills going up. They are even steeper coming down, I promise.
Yeah, Matt and I say this a lot, but it's so true, and it's one of those things if you've never... Oh, we just heard on the radio, Coy was 14 seconds away from a DNF from timing out when he finally got it back going again.
Wow.
So, talk about cutting it close. 14 seconds from a DNF, but he made it through the finish line with a 3:35.
That's the most important thing.
Yes.
Self-recovery.
3:35.049. Again, our rules state that as long as you continue making forward momentum and do not have to back up after your time, you can still continue the course until you cross the line. So, literally, that might be our longest time of the day, but it's still a time. So, again, getting that time is super crucial when it comes to points for the end of the season. A DNF versus, say, a last-place finish, there might be a 20-point difference, where between third and fifth last year, there was only 3-point difference going in. So you're talking a big point difference there.
Yeah, so if you're in it for the season, then those points they definitely make a difference. Ooh. Brandon Jackson out on the course now. Another new driver to the series. We have just one driver left after this. This is course 1 of the UTV stock class. Our first class racing today. Our first class racing this year. Same spot.
Southern Land Rider said, "Hey, nice recovery." I was like, yes, anytime you can recover yourself, it's a great recovery.
I don't know what Coy got out and did, but it is pretty awesome when a driver can self-recover and still be able to finish the course.
It looks like he's high-centered But on a rut, I'm not sure if there's just it's really rutted out there or there's a rut they're stuck on. But it looks like all four wheels are turning.
Hey, you can't park there.
Zach, he is so ornery, I tell you.
It kind of makes you wonder if these guys are watching the guys in front of them. This is the part where you get out and self-recover yourself. After you dig it out,
Oh, man. I hope Brandon was taking notes on what Coy just did.
Yeah.
He might have to get out here.
I feel like all four tires are in the air right now.
He seems to be pretty solidly turtled.
The cool part is...
All right, we got hands on the buggy. Unfortunately, that does mean that'll be an end to Brandon's run. That is part of the rules. Obviously, we're able to self-recover and finish. That's totally acceptable. But once you get outside assistance and somebody else puts hands on the vehicle to help you, then that does mean that your run is over. But heck of a try from Brandon Jackson. Obviously, this spot on the course is super difficult. It's given a lot of our drivers trouble today. So hopefully he'll be able to come back out and finish up course 2 for the stock class.
You don't have to hit that thing, boy. Hit it. If you're scared, just get off the hill. We don't care. Nobody judges you here. There you go. We don't. Hey, you know what? Even the best of us has a bad day.
Little Tim came over and gave me a hug. Said to Bubba, and he said they're going to have a whole crew here tomorrow.
Little Tim Bacon?
Yeah, sorry. I guess I should add that part. Little Tim Bacon.
Yeah, it's been a while since we had the whole Bacon crew
I know.
out here. I guess
excited.
we saw them at Battle of the Bouncers, but that wasn't a season race, a series race.
All right, we got a course clear and Alex Klein on the line.
The crescendo of all UTV
Sitting down there in that race line starting gate.
runner of the day. You know him, you love him. I've never heard of him. Alex Klein.
Again, there's quite a few drivers flying up there.
Oh!
Definitely pushing into that corner. What I love is, because obviously these guys have brake lights hooked up like a chase bar like Alex does here, you can see them.
Oh, he's pinballing.
You can see him go into the corner, and as they're on three wheels, you can see they never hit the brakes, which just makes me so excited. You know,
that would just make it worse.
It's just so cool to see some of the guys almost be on cartwheeling over there.
I like how Alex was just like, not today. And he
oh, man.
Maybe today.
Yeah. Oh, he had. No. Dang it.
Oh, no.
He was.
Dude, he blasted up that hill where everybody else was getting stuck.
Yes.
And that was awesome.
And he was flying down that hill.
He
and
also blasted down the hill and into the tree.
And literally, as he hit that last bump, I was getting ready to say, man, he is absolutely flying down this hill. And then he clipped the tree.
Oh, he was until that tree jumped out. Man,
yeah.
They do that sometimes.
They do. And again, we talk about trees a lot. Like some guys do not like trees because they clip them. That hurts the buggy, tears them up, stops the run. I kind of like trees because if you're rolling downhill, they can kind of catch you like a friend. The downside is they can also kind of hurt your buggy sometimes too. And he didn't just hit that, just barely clipped that. He clipped it pretty hard. Dude, that is awesome.
Oh, man.
He was getting it. I love that he backed up and tried taking off. I was like, this is my guy. This is my guy. You are built for this sport, sir.
He came to race.
He did. You are built for this sport, sir. That was awesome.
Hey, guys, if you forgot your fire suit or your safety vest, please come back up here with us common folk. Please come up here with us common folk.
All right, we have an Amsoil action shot here, and that was definitely an Amsoil action shot here. He came down and just cut the wheel, barely caught that tree.
He almost made it.
He did, too. Man.
Rough.
Dang it. Oh, I love to see, you can see him throw it in reverse right there, and he was like, I'm here to party. We are going to get this done. Unfortunately, yeah, I don't think he thought it was. I think he probably thought he kind of just tagged it. I don't think he probably thought it was as bad as it was.
That it was hanging by a thread?
Yeah. Because I've kicked the back end like that before, too, but you can see how much stuff probably. Well, I'm going to guess a ball joint probably on that lower A arm or trailing arm back there. He probably, I'd say a ball joint, maybe some rod ends, maybe. Again, you can see that back tire. It gives a little bit of indicator of.
Yeah, it's not supposed to be looking up at the sky like that.
It's not. But I got to say, he was flying up until that point. Literally was on two wheels coming around this corner. The uphill section, he was full tilt going up, and I would say that was our new fastest time.
I love how it was just like he was the last one to go.
Yeah.
He'd watched all these other people get stuck in the middle of the hill. He was like, all right, let's do this.
Ninja Pat 66 said, yeah, no three-wheelers. Like, yeah, three-wheelers don't do real great going uphill.
Speaking of hitting trees, we do have a couple pictures of Bert Savvy and his unfortunate run-in with a tree stump, which, oh, man, left a mark.
Wow.
Left a lot of marks.
Man.
Yikes.
Get her done. Get her done. Yeah, he tagged that front end. Be a little bit of work.
If you missed it, this was a few runs ago. This was Bert Savvy and an unfortunate, real tough run-in with the tree stump.
Yeah, those guys. All right. Why these guys give a minute to get that track reset and we get our next class. We're going to hear from our sponsor. We'll be back right after these messages.
Rebirthed from the depths of Baja, Mickey Thompson Tires announces a new American mud terrain legend. The new Baja Legend MTZ. Silica reinforced T4 tread compound. Powerply 3-ply construction. Improved 4-pitch side biters. Proven MTZ tread styling for undisputed traction. 35 different sizes, and one is just waiting for your rig. The Baja Legend MTZ. What you want? No matter where your ride takes you. Whether it's a quick trip or a slow climb. When you choose RCV Performance Axles, you're guaranteed to finish every time.
All right, guys, let me give you that quick top 5 rundown from Course 1 of the UTV stock class. Cody Kaysen took the win for Course 1 with a 50, followed by Brandon Davis with a 55, Daniel Heckley with a 57.4, wow. Dylan Dowler with a 57.9, and then Robert Trainer with a 59, rounding out that top 5. We are ready to move on to course 1 for our Super Grip UTV Cup class. I believe we've got Cooper Bentley on the line, so we'll be kicking that off in just a minute. Let's head to the line. Cooper had a 4th place finish overall for the 2024 season in the Cup class. We'll also see him racing in the bouncer class tomorrow. Is he doing bounty this time too? What bounty list?
Cooper is a rock star in pretty much anything he races.
He's not going to be racing bounty.
I wasn't paying attention, but that's Cooper Bentley. Yeah.
All right, Cooper's got to set the bar here for the rest of our Cup class. And if you guys thought there was some rowdy driving and fast times with our stock class, well, you just wait.
Yeah, these vehicles sit a little lower, so they have to send it just a little bit harder. But they're okay with that. Cooper is just flying through these downhill sections. Again, you can see how big some of those ruts are when they land.
Uh-oh.
And you know, all of our UTV Cup class right now is watching Cooper. He's being the first guy to hit this hill. They're watching what he does and how the buggy reacts to know what they need to do.
Cooper started racing with us in 2021 at Hawk Pride, and I don't think he's looked back since.
That was a 96.084 for Mr. Cooper Bentley.
96.084, and he did opt to skip the fuel stop halfway through that long track. Good grief. This boy's going to need a sandwich and a nap.
Again, shout out to all the people in our live feed. I love our chats. Truthbot said, that was my favorite tree.
Don't get too attached to any of the trees out here. All right, Clay Kaysen is off the line.
Clay has some new powder coat on his buggy. Got some sparkle in there.
Clay was our 2nd place overall for 2024 season in the Cup class. So you know he's on a mission this year to end up on that top spot. Clay is from Fulton, Mississippi. And this is his 4th year racing overall, I think. His 3rd year in the 401k chassis.
Definitely doing well. Again, coming down, making that quick hairpin turn, heading right back up that long hill. And they're using the access road up at the very, very top. That's for part of our recovery crew, or where we have camera crew sometimes positioned. And again, these guys are just, literally uphill, downhill, uphill, downhill.
Clay wants to give a shout out to Mickey Thompson, Trinity Racing, All Things UTV, Turner Axles, Southern Power Sports, G-Force Racing Technology, CA Tech, Perfection Driveline, Megs Fabworks, Mr. C Shop, and CNC Off-Road for helping him do what he does out here on the race course.
Whoa, he's flying.
It's going to be a heck of a time.
This will be. He is floating. Wow.
With an 84.536. The bar has been set for the rest of the Cup class.
That last downhill section, he was just skipping. Kind of reminded me of how Alex was coming down. Just those guys are literally just skipping downhill. Southernland Rider said, love the longer course. Yeah, we try to. We've gone, last couple of years, we've kind of extended our courses, have some more jumps in there, some more uphill, some more downhill. And it kind of shows off more of the complete racer rather than a guy who's willing to close his eyes and just shoot up a hill.
Kill one hill and then
yes.
be done after 12 seconds or whatever.
We drive a long way, so we try to make sure we have a good race course. Clyde does a great job at that.
Drive a long ways to get to the races. Then you want to be able to do some driving on the actual hill. Dustin Medley out on the course now in a sharp-looking rear steer.
Yes, so I got to walk around this morning, and it has more of an Ultra 4 car type feel. Again, as you can saw in that first corner real steer, he's running that new Polaris 4-cylinder engine in there. They have a 400 horsepower tune. So if it sounds like this thing's wrapping out, that's because it's a 400 horsepower tune on this. They do have a 600 horsepower tune available, but he said we're going to start off with 4 and see how it goes. But right now it's a very radical little machine.
Just in case they need a little more.
Yeah. And again, when you look at, taking a UTV and putting a 4-cylinder car engine in there, it's just absolutely insane. Again, being able to, basically, you're putting a 4-cylinder car engine there. We've all seen what the JDM cars do. A lot of the import community has been using 4-cylinders and putting turbos on for a long time. But to do that in an off-road rig is definitely pretty incredible.
Yeah, this is one bad-looking little rig.
It is. I think
it looks like a lot of fun to drive,
It does. It does.
I'm a fan of rear steer.
Yes. Again, your dad in the Avenger doing cyclones at the Unlimited Offer Expo will be one of my highlights of just watching a buggy just absolutely go bananas. Was definitely impressive.
Yeah, once you go rear steer, you don't go back.
Yeah.
Low blow, Taylor.
Yeah, that's okay. Yeah.
I know.
Yeah. He is
All
flying through
let's
there.
See how that time compares.
That's a 104.639. Wow. Yeah. That rear steer just doing work right there. That's got to be fun to drive too. Even if you're not racing,
that's
just
what
going
I'm
out.
Saying.
That's got to be just fun to play with even.
Matt, have you ever done donuts with a rear steer buggy?
I haven't.
Well, that's the only way to do donuts. It's awesome.
Yes. Yeah, not yet. It's coming. I got to get my front end done yet. Little Tim came up and goes, "Hey, your knuckles are done." I was like, "Really? You bought them?" He's like, "I'm just teasing you." I'm like, "Oh, man."
Low blow.
And I was like,
all right, Dylan Dowler on the line now.
That Double D Motorsports. Again, Dylan is no stranger to being here. That orange. The only thing brighter than that, I think, was the pink that the King family used to represent.
Well, and Dylan finished third place last season overall for our UTV Cup and Stock classes.
Wow.
So very solid, consistent season last year for Dylan. He wasn't a 4-seater for the Stock class just a little bit ago, as he unfortunately had some breakage in his Stock UTV.
He said he broke it pre-running.
Yep. But he's about to throw down right now.
Again, that last 15, 20 feet right there after the flat spot is really, really steep. You'll see tomorrow in the big bouncers how we've had a couple guys launch out of the top of that.
This is a 2021 Pro XP drivetrain custom tube chassis built by Kyle Cahill.
Ooh, he was skipping up that hill and just kind of bobbled it sideways a little bit.
That Dylan's been working on this season. Martin Stewart built the suspension. I saw Martin was here.
Yeah, he's here somewhere. He's hard to miss at the driver's meeting because he's usually 4 inches taller than everyone else.
This is Dylan's second year racing this chassis. Well, rather, last year was the first full season. I think he might have been in it a couple races before that, but this will be his second full season racing it. Dylan's been racing for 3 years now. He said he was a spectator for a long time until he could decided to take the leap and could afford getting into the vehicle, loves the sport and the people, and wanted to see how he compared to the big names in the sport.
Yeah.
Safe to say, after finishing third in both the UTV classes he raced last year, compares just fine.
Yeah, if you're on the podium, you're doing something right.
And that's a 102.398 for Dylan Dowler. You guys are watching Course 1 of our Super Grip UTV Cup class. We're a couple drivers in. We've still got lots to go. And then we'll be back with Round 2 for both of our UTV classes today.
Next up, Ethan Hunt.
Thank you guys for joining us here for the season opener of the NRRA this weekend, presented by Mickey Thompson Tires. The big thank you and shout out to them and to all of our sponsors for helping us do what we do here and be able to put on events like this. Ethan Hunt out on the course now. I believe Ethan joined us at Pretty Place last year, if I'm not mistaken. I think he was in a different buggy maybe. But he's definitely newer to the series for sure. Glad to see him back out here. Ethan's also going to be racing the bouncer class this year. And stand back. So you guys will see more of him tomorrow.
Getting watch him whip around there.
Yeah, so Ethan started racing with us about halfway through last year. I think Pretty Place was his first race. I could be mistaken on that, but he decided he wanted to dive all the way in. And got stand back in the side-by-side and has been coming out and having fun.
Oh, no. That little rut section right there has caused so many problems this weekend already.
Yeah, I think he was having fun up until just now.
Just a little FYI, folks, there's one spot on this track that you're going to have to hit it with a little bit of momentum, and it's right.
There he goes. And you can see him kind of bobbling through as they head through that section right there.
There it is.
That's a 130.244 for Mr. Ethan Hunt.
Bless you?
What?
Bless you?
Thank you. I was coughing.
Oh, I couldn't tell if it was a sneeze or not.
I've been trying to cough quietly over here. I have a little bit of cough. I got sick a couple weeks ago, so I have a little bit of cough still. This is Max Lawrence on here. Getting running that Paul Wolf chassis, it looks like.
Hey, look at that. Oh, okay. Good job. Nicely done. Nice save.
Bub Meadows down there getting painted a little bit with some mud.
Max was just taking the bonus line down there, do a little donut, get extra cool points, something like that.
I like those rims, too. Those gold-looking rims are pretty slick. Again, Paul Wolf made that chassis famous back when he used to race with us. And he raced several cars in several different classes in our UTV series.
Yeah, Paul kind of cut his teeth as a racer in the series. Made a name for himself for sure. And he's still doing some great things.
Chris Hickman, they picked up a UFO car, and now they're doing some racing together out at Ultra Ford. Paul doing pretty well with that.
So we know this is definitely a very capable rig.
Yes.
And it looks like Max Lawrence is a very capable driver.
I'm not sure if this is a car. He did win a UTV championship. I don't remember if this is a car he won it with or not. I actually raced one of Paul's buggies, that black one that he had, his first season. He let me race it, where were we? I can't remember. I was supposed to race somebody else's and it didn't work out. So last minute, Paul let me race his. And it was pretty fun. I bet.
That thing flew.
He definitely can dial his car in pretty well. And this last section here is just a downhill. You want to be really cautious and make sure you be very careful. You've seen a couple guys come down skipping.
Well, after we saw poor Alex climb.
Yeah.
And I'm sure that everybody's watching out for that tree now.
Yeah.
107.161. A great run from Max Lawrence. His first time racing with us. We do have an AMSOIL action shot of his style points down here, the end of the track. Just a little extra, scenic route down there. And a good recovery out of that corner. We do have Nathan King on the line now.
Dylan Moto on our live feed said, style points today.
Oh, yeah.
We've had a few drivers get some style points today.
If you're not going to get the fastest run, you might as well make it look cool.
I said, speaking of fastest run, Nathan is definitely going to come out. Whoa! Pushing!
Woo!
Definitely come out pushing hard. Also try to get some style points today.
Nathan King's out of Sewanee, Tennessee. He's been racing for 4 years, and he credits his sister Madison with getting them all started here in the racing world.
Yeah, Nathan definitely knows how to drive one of those buggies.
Nathan and Madison also, and their dad Isaac, also now driving the Avenger.
Yes.
After a good 10-year run with the Avenger with me and my dad, it was time to change things up a little bit. So we found a good home for it with the Kings. I was glad to hand off the steering wheel to another racing family. I chatted with them a little bit at the drivers' meeting, Nathan and Madison. They've been having fun with it, saying they're getting used to the rear steer.
Oh, yeah.
And getting used to just being in a bouncer after, both of them been racing UTVs for several seasons now. So maybe we'll see the Avenger back out here on the race course at some point. But I'm glad that it went to a good home.
Yeah. I talked to him on Sunday before the drivers' meeting, and I said, so are you going to plan on racing it? He said, well, we're going to try to get some seat time to be feel real comfortable, get it really dialed in. And before he said, you can't come out and race that unless you're racing at full tilt. So he said, we want to be very comfortable before we start racing that. That's okay. That's a 90.348 for Nathan King. And we have another AMSOIL action shot of Nathan also coming out, trying to get some style points today.
And that is a second-place time for Nathan King. Clay Kaysen's in the lead right now with an 84, now followed by Nathan with a 90, and then Cooper Bentley with a 96. We are not quite halfway through our list of drivers for Course 1 of the Super Grip UTV Cup class. Brian Smith out on the course now.
What's up, Scott Hansen?
We usually see Brian in the Vandal buggy.
Yeah.
But I think maybe he might have broken something this morning. Let's see. I think you guys were talking about it earlier here in the chat.
The Truth Bot said, go Bo Duke approved. As I concur. Again, these guys are all taking this downhill section so fast today that you do just try to pinball between the trees. I like how the front of this cage sits pretty low, too. Kind of gives that, like an F-16 fighter pilot type vibe,
Make it faster?
Yeah. I mean, I don't know how much aerodynamics play in here, but it could be. You never know.
So this is his wife's buggy.
Oh, wow.
His broke this morning pre-running. It's always good to have a backup with you.
Yes.
We never know.
Oh! There he goes out. Woo! Good job.
Fighting for that one.
He was kind of three-wheel motion there for a few minutes.
Y'all might not know this, but that's actually his wife's buggy. So if he didn't do good in it.
Well, shoot, why isn't his wife racing in the buggy? That's what I want to know.
So we had a few guys roll over this morning pre-running out here, so.
88.566.
Wow.
That is a second place time now, pushing Nathan King down to third currently. Well done, Brian. That was a smoking run.
Enjoy Life says she does some racing. That's awesome.
Yeah, I do think maybe she raced Battle of the Bouncers.
Yeah, there was something I think I remember seeing them.
We've seen her race out here before. We always love to see some of the lady drivers representing.
Great looking crowd on this Friday afternoon. You can see them. They're wearing hoodies. Still a little breezy out here.
You know what? Everyone is just enjoying a dry day here at Windrock.
Yes.
No inches of mud.
Yes.
We're not getting rained on.
I like that you said inches of mud.
Yes. We are happy with the conditions this weekend.
Yes. No inches of mud?
It is probably, what's it, like mid-50s-ish right now?
I would say more
low.
like maybe mid-40s.
You think so?
Yeah, it's a little breezy.
We're going to call it
Let's check the old weather app.
50.
51, Bree. Wow.
You shouldn't question me, Matt.
You said, I'm going to call it 50. By the time it updated to 51, I'm like, man, great.
There we've got a shot of Trip Pullen. You guys should recognize that name if you've been around for more than, 10 minutes in the racing scene. And then we've got Jared with Speed Sport down there getting some awesome behind-the-scenes interviews and footage for us so that we can put our episodes together and be able to air them on TV, on Speed Sport TV. And you guys will be able to catch some of those clips that you see them filming there and all throughout this weekend on social media as well. So keep an eye out for those, and you get to get a little of the behind the scenes and hear even more from the drivers while they're here this weekend. Is this Casey? Who is this? That's not. Who is this?
It says Braden Upchurch, but I think it's Casey
Braden
Howell.
was number 13. He's going last.
Yeah. And he built a new buggy, so I was looking at it this morning. Got the old Some Mean Bread wrap on there.
It's not blue anymore. It's throwing me off.
Yeah.
Well, and there's a reason that it doesn't look like Casey. It's because this is Jesse Phillips out on the course. Well, a little switcheroo here in our lineup. Jesse, another one of our new and newer drivers.
Yeah.
We have some both out here this weekend.
Yeah.
Some that have maybe raced just a handful once or twice with us over the last couple seasons, and then some that are brand new to the series. We are glad to see new names and new faces out here. We love growing the sport and growing the series, and especially with having our two new classes or, kind of subclasses this season as well. There are more ways than ever, more opportunities than ever for people to get involved out here.
Take your time. Pretend like we're not even racing. You're doing great.
Zach, I tell you.
Where would we be without Zach's encouragement?
Yeah. Oh! Those ruts are just massive right there.
Come on, Jesse, stay with it.
Those first two hills, those first two humps are just massive ruts.
That is a long, steep haul to get up that hill. So
well
done.
And we're used
Jesse.
to go up right where he's coming down, and then we turn and come down where he then had to go up. So usually if you're going down the ruts, it wasn't such a big deal. But now that we're coming up them, it's kind of a problem today. That's a 145.046, Mr. Jesse Phillips.
145.046, but with a completed run, so he's better than those guys totaling buggies out.
All right, I'm going to guess that now this is Casey Howell on the line. There's the black and blue that I'm used to seeing with Casey. Casey Howell rounded out our top 5 last season in the Cup class. He had that 5th place spot for the year. So definitely a good, solid season for him.
Casey, a pretty fierce competitor, has been racing with us quite a while. definitely gets out there and rips that buggy hard.
Up that super grip slope. So the time to beat right now is an 84 from Clay Kaysen.
Again, Clay's one to set it on fire, so
it's going to be hard to beat.
Yeah.
We've got Brian Smith after that with an 88. And then Nathan King with a 90. Those are our top 3 right now.
Ooh.
Come on, Casey. There it is. 92.201.
Man.
A solid run from Casey Howell. Not enough to break into those top 3, but that is a 4th place spot currently, and definitely a great run.
We got DC Thompson sitting in that race line starting gate.
All right, DC. You know, we used to call DC our wreckers or checkers guy. You never really knew what you were going to get from him, but I feel like he's mellowed out a little in the last season or so.
Yeah.
And kind of hit his stride between that, you know, wild, ragged edge driving and being a little more consistent.
Yeah, the last couple of years we've seen him just kind of back off and be, like I said, more consistent, more easy. And again, he was always a record checkers guy. I think he was trying to push the buggy so hard for that podium finish that unfortunately it would break. So I think he's backed off, been a little bit more conservative driver, and luckily it's put him on the podium.
The way, well, DC got started at RBD with Clyde and Clyde's son CJ back in 2013.
Wow.
Got hooked. He's been part of it ever since.
Something is clearly not right with that buggy.
Well, this is his 4th season running this buggy. He calls it Headache. The Headache. And looks like the buggy's being a little bit of a headache right now. It's definitely been put through the ringer the last 3 seasons.
It's true.
Though. We are going to be seeing more from DC in the bouncer class again this season as well.
Yeah, I'm excited.
I know that was kind of a long time coming, and he had a lot of difficulties last year. Getting the bouncer running, keeping it running, getting it to the races. So,
and they had some weird things wrong with their bouncer last year.
They did have
some weird thing. They had an axle shaft stuck in the rear housing.
Yeah.
I remember seeing a picture. They had the buggy was strapped to a tree, and they had a diesel truck strapped to the axle shaft.
Matt Myrick out on the course now.
And I don't know if it was the housing was bent or something was. It did not look good. But yeah, DC's been a lot more conservative. So shout out to DC Thompson.
Matt Myrick on the course. He calls this buggy Knucklehead, which is appropriate, seeing as you guys will recognize Matt from the Busted Knuckle YouTube brand. It is a new for this season buggy, and Matt's favorite colors.
And shout out to all of our media guys out here on the hills. Now we got a handful of photographers. We got a handful of media guys out there. Out there, High Octane Films and Mad Ram 11 both out there. Then we got Bub out there with High Addictive Photography. Does a great job. Make sure we get cool videos and pictures.
Matt has been into racing since 2016. He says he got the chance to step out from behind the camera and hop into a UTV to experience what the drivers do firsthand. And now he's the one behind the steering wheel. Hey, has been for a while now, so pretty cool to see how he has grown Busted Knuckle over the years, too. Oh! Some more of those style points going on down here. This seems to be the place for it.
I'm either going to win or I'm going to flip. Looks like it.
He had a time of 96.670.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, after the fact. I like that.
I like it that Taylor, this is the Amsoil after the fact.
After the fact.
Action shot.
Yeah.
Seen as the race was over. We're going to have to call this like Cool Tricks Corner or something down here. Everybody's just.
I know. Well, going
donuts,
in.
rolling
or,
over.
Yeah, going in or coming out.
Toting wheels.
Everybody else has done it during the race. He was the only one to do it after the race. So, but, it doesn't matter.
He was on a roll, Matt.
Truthbot said Ninja Turtle. I love it. I love our comments on live feed today. We got 237 people tuning in here on our live feed. We appreciate everybody. And I think our comments are absolute fire today. I appreciate everybody chatting in there.
They've missed race season, Matt.
They have.
We all have. Glad to be back at it.
We really have. I've missed too. We got the buggy ready and put it in the Mickey Thompson, our sponsor for this weekend. We had it at the Mickey Thompson booth, the PRI show, so I got to shake hands and goof around with those guys, had a good time. So my buggy was ready to go by December 9th. So I kind of just backed in the shop and looked pretty for the last couple months. So it was this is the one time.
A lot of these guys can't say that.
I know. I was ready. They're like, because everybody was teasing me. Oh, you got your buggy out ready? I'm like, mine's ready to go 2 months ago.
Somehow off season seems to go by like fast and slow at the same time.
And what's funny is it feels like you have 3 months, and the next thing you know, you're like, oh, it's next week.
Like the driver picks next weekend.
It's next week. What?
Motor's not in it.
Yeah. No. Yeah. Yeah. And we have that. We're some guys here running loaners.
I'm still waiting on my axles.
Yeah. Oh, trust me. I know. Trust me. I know. So. Yeah. Clyde called on the way here, and he's like, yeah, the axle left the chat. I'm like, wait, what? He's like, yeah, it's a long story.
Which axle are we talking about?
Yeah, on the trailer. On the T-shirt trailer. They had
nothing can be too easy. Otherwise, we would get lulled into complacency and forget how to handle all of these, all the difficulties of life.
If everything went smooth, we would know what to do.
Also, Truthbot, thank you for acknowledging my joke. I said Matt was on a roll.
Yes. We got
literally and figuratively.
Dan Carter out here. Out here in that beautiful red, white, and blue buggy.
This is a good-looking buggy.
This is a sharp buggy. Definitely an awesome buggy. They unveiled this last year, and Dan has been just setting it on fire ever since. Just absolutely coming out and just sending it. Part of that rock off-road crew. Getting shout out to Brian Dunnigan and all those guys out there. They do a great job with it. Rock Life Off-Road. They do a great job. Again, they help out a lot. I know a lot of guys who I've called them for parts before. I bought a fuel pump of them last year. So not just racers, but also just guys who have UTVs that need parts. So give them a call if you need anything.
Yeah, Brian's usually got his booth set up, his trailer set up, and at the events.
Yeah.
So
yeah, shout out to him.
You need any last-minute goodies?
They brought me sunglasses one time when I didn't have them. So.
Like sunglasses?
Yeah, it was handy.
Oh, nice, Dan.
Chapstick. They got some other stuff down there that's handy. Again, Dan does a great job with his social media, talking about the race program, so you can find him on all the socials. Go check him out. Dan Carter Racing.
Oh, all right, that's okay. Minor detail. You just seen if that tree was still alive.
Taylor said he wanted to check and see the leaves were still on it.
Would that mean he was a leaf looker?
Oh, wow. That was a 101.494 for Mr. Dan Carter. Wow, look at that.
Nice,
101.494. That's a palindrome from the front. First three and the last three are both a palindrome.
Yes, Matt.
Yes?
What about it?
From the first three and the last three?
I see that. I said nice.
Yeah.
Good job.
Yeah. That's your word of the day.
I'm just proud that you know what a palindrome is.
I am. I remember some stuff from school. It's nothing new. It's nothing you'd ever remember or use.
Until you're unalive.
Yes.
20 years later.
Yeah.
Landon Kahn on the course now. Man, I love having all these new drivers out here this weekend. Everybody has been eagerly awaiting the start of race season, I think. Everyone's anxious to sign up and try out these courses.
Yes.
Glad to see it.
And just to get out and get racing again. I was excited. Like I said, my buggy sat for like a month and a half. I was excited just to get it out and do some racing with it.
Remember what that skinny pedal felt like?
For real. Well, and the best part was, so we had to pull, because
the wind in your hair.
We had to go into the conference center, so we had to pull the drive slugs and one rear axle, so it was one-wheel drive. We got ready to load it on the trailer. I forgot to put the drive slugs in, so I spun my back. And me and my dad looked at each other, and I was like, thank God we found that out before we got here. So.
Landon Kahn having a real smooth run right now. We're about 2/3 of the way through course 1 for the Super Grip UTV Cup class. Once we wrap this one up, then we will be back for round 2 of our stock class and then Cup class. It's a little bit of a short day today since the rest of our classes are all going to be running tomorrow. So you guys want to make sure you tune in tomorrow for our Bouncer Unlimited and Limited class, our youth class, and then we've got the teen/amateur class and UTV Bounty running as well. So it'll be a full day of racing here at Windrock Park tomorrow.
Come on, baby. Friday, not Sunday.
Come on, Landon. It's all downhill from here.
3.
That's the first one of the season.
It was. Bless your heart.
I had to do it.
I love it.
.451 for Landon.
Say that 3 times faster. Is a 1114451.
All right, I see some hot pink down there in the starting gate, and Madison King is on the line. Madison representing for our lady drivers this season and for several seasons past. Madison also races the Bounty class. She finished 4th overall for last season in the Bounty class. See how she handles this UTV Cup course.
Again, she is definitely always sitting there. Do you think that she races harder because she races against her brother?
I don't know. I'm sure they've probably got a healthy sibling rivalry. But I think she probably feels that way about all the guys out here.
Yeah, it's true. It's true. Yeah. I know I always race harder when I'm racing against my brother than not. So.
And for her to race the Bounty class, too, I mean, if y'all aren't familiar with our UTV Bounty, they race the same course as our Bouncers do. So it's the toughest course that we can throw at our UTV drivers in a race weekend. And Madison consistently does well in that class and the Cup class, especially with that 4th place finish overall for last season in Bounty. We'll see what she brings to the table this year. A very solid run
there
right there.
There we go. That's a 102.667 for Miss Madison King. Other half of that King Racing program.
Madison, the Queen King.
I want their dad to start racing just so we can call it 3 Kings Racing.
What?
Because
yes.
I don't know. It just says got a ring to it, you know?
It does.
Woo! All right, kids, put your phones down. Watch this.
This is Jesse Riley on the line now. Ooh, looking sharp with that purple.
Yeah.
Y'all know I love me some purple.
All his new suspension, I was talking to him this morning, all of his new suspension components came in Tuesday. So he said every single suspension component came in Tuesday. We put them all together and put them all on. He said basically everything in this buggy's new. New motor, new tune. We have everything on it's new. He has some of that new boat lining, like the boat flooring guys are putting inside their panels to make it quieter.
Oh.
He went through and did a bunch of that, and he said it made a big, big difference. He's pretty happy about it.
Well, the suspension looked great, but it's the motor that wasn't sounding good just now.
Again, a lot of...
How about that?
Yeah.
those parts came in on Wednesday, Taylor said.
Yeah. And it's when the buggy gets more vertical is when it starts to kind of have some issues. So I'm not sure.
Making popcorn?
Yeah. So I'm not sure if that's a sensor going bad or a bad connection somewhere.
First race of the season, man. That's when the bugs make themselves known so you can start working them out the whole rest of the year.
Yeah, it's true. It's true. We got
Every single racer has been there before.
Yep.
All right. Does Jesse Riley call his race program Ruthless Racing? Is that why I'm seeing that on here? Somebody answer that for me on YouTube.
The internet is awesome.
They'll either tell you that you're wrong or answer your question. Either way. So might as well just go with the question.
Yeah, I had a guy tell me that. He's like, if you want to find the right way to do something, just tell them the wrong. Just pick away and tell them it wrong, and everybody will tell you that's wrong.
Yeah.
He's like, it's the fastest way to learn things.
We're like, I like chocolate ice cream. No, you don't.
Yeah, no, you don't.
No, you don't even know.
Again, watching it just skeet down that hill.
Nice. Through the finish line for Jesse Riley. Let's get that time. $142.733, and yes, that was Jesse with Ruthless Racing. It's going to be fun to get to know our new drivers this season.
Got Thomas Lair sitting down there. CTC Perfection Driveline.
Thomas is definitely not a new driver, but it's been a while since we've seen him around at a race. Glad to see him back out here.
Again, I love his golden accent color. Is like my favorite.
Oh
no! Must have popped out of gear. Yeah, he may have to back up a ways because he's on a super steep section right there.
If you're new to racing and not sure exactly what you're looking at, that's his chance of winning going off the right there.
Yeah, Thomas, I love it. So he runs a purple buggy. With gold accent colors, and they look so sharp. Dang it!
His passenger's not pulling.
Dang it! That's a long way.
No! Oh, no.
That's a long way to back down that hill.
Stop right there.
This is one of those hills, like where Matt was saying how you want a tree to kind of stop you from going all the way to the bottom, because you guys can't tell on this camera angle, but this is a really long, steep hill. So I'm glad he stopped right there. It's going to be a little bit of a recovery.
Yeah.
But that's all right. Better than him, rolling all the way down to the bottom.
Yeah. And Tom was a great dude. I know they sell a lot of drive shaft parts. That's why I was give a shout out to the CTC Perfection Driveline. He does a lot of bouncer drive shaft parts for bouncers here. And the great thing is, since he races with us, he'll bring them for you for free. So rather than pay shipping, he's like, hey, don't worry about it.
Delivered to the races.
Will be. So there's been times where we've delivered parts. My dad had a diesel truck with a drive shaft that went bad, and we called him. We had brought the drive shaft. He took care of us for us. So definitely pretty awesome.
All right, guys, let's go to our Ames Oil action shot. There he is. That is a bummer for Thomas. Hopefully he'll be able to come back and race course 2. I don't know if that was an axle that he broke. Hopefully nothing else too serious. And speaking of our AMSOIL action shot, AMSOIL joining our group of sponsors for this season, and we are so thankful to them and all of our sponsors for coming on board with us for the 2025 season, helping us do what we do. You know, guys, it takes a village to put on an event like this, to run a whole series like this. There's so much that goes on that unless you're involved in it, you probably have no idea. But we are so thankful to everybody that helps us be able to, you know, run this series, run these events. From our sponsors to our media partners, our recovery volunteers and staff, help keeping everybody safe and things moving smoothly out on the hill. Our production team. There's a lot that goes on here in this trailer and elsewhere behind the scenes to make this show happen and come to you guys out there. So we love being able to do it and are definitely thankful to those that help us with it. So.
Yes, huge shout out to all of our course workers, our cameramen and camera ladies, our timing people, everybody that makes this, our graphics people, people working behind the scenes, off-site doing social media stuff for us. Huge shout out to everyone who makes.
We gotta say thank you to the park staff as well, all the parks that host our events, because it takes a lot of work, you know, to maintain and create the spectator areas and the race hills. And help us be able to facilitate these events and get everybody in and out and do it all in a way that is spectator-friendly and safe for everybody. So definitely a big thank you to all the parks and their staff as well.
Yeah, again, the park staff, they do a lot of pre-stuff that happens long before you get here, sometimes months in advance. So, yeah, they definitely do a lot of work that nobody sees, really, because it's done months in advance to help from food vendors to making sure we have porta potties close.
Sometimes.
We're teasing because our boss this morning needed one. So we were giving him a hard time.
It's a bit of an ongoing joke here among the crew.
Yeah, if only somebody would ask that, Bree. Oh, good times.
Good times.
Yes.
We do have Thomas Lair off the course now. We've got 3 drivers left to wrap up course 1 for our Super Grip UTV Cup class. There's a dog out on the course. Not sure if anyone knows about that. Hope that dog can run fast.
We have David Darnell. So if you came here to see David Darnell, you're going to play
David Darnell taking off the line now.
Again, this super steep first climb here.
Come here, dog. Come here, doggy.
So far, so good. He's making his way down that Super Grip slope now.
Coming around, whip around that hairpin turn there.
I like the continuation of the purple color scheme.
Yes.
We've got a lot of that out here this weekend. I approve.
Go, baby, go.
Oh, working his way up the Raceline Ridge. We're going to have to start calling it the Raceline Ruts pretty soon. It seems like that's where everybody's getting stuck.
Yeah.
Yeah, he did a good job. He peed a little, but he did a good job.
All right, watch out for the tree. Okay. There we go.
That's a 120.159 from Mr. David Darnell. Truthbot says, hey, what do you think about that new Fordzilla look? I've seen it, and it looks awesome.
I haven't seen it yet.
Ooh, it looks good. I got a Snapchat video of it. It looks pretty awesome.
Ooh.
It looks more like a rock bouncer now.
Yeah?
Yeah, it's pretty cool. He put some blue panels on there, put a whole bunch of stickers on it, and it looks awesome.
Nice. Yeah, I'll be looking forward to checking that out.
I think that dude is going to be a vicious competitor this year.
Definitely.
Nick is going to be awesome.
All right, who do we have?
Braden Upchurch and his new wrap. Got that Rock Life Off-Road, that Ricky Bobby look out there.
Looking good.
Got the chance to talk with him.
I like how everyone brings out the fresh wraps for the new season.
This is a new chassis built by Nathaniel Bell.
All right.
Yeah, it looks like your normal typical single seaters, but it's a little bit wider and a little bit taller than your normal single cab. So it has more of a little bit taller, a little bit more round look at the top.
Well, Nathaniel Bell was last year's UTV Bounty season champ, so he knows a thing or two about how to build these buggies.
He
make them last.
He does okay. Again, shout out to Drone Work out there, doing a great job.
Y'all remember that dog?
This is Braden's third year racing with us and being part of that Rock Life Off-Road crew. You can follow him on Facebook at Upchurch Racing. He wants to give a shout out to his mom and dad, Rock Life Off-Road, Super Grip Tires, L&W Fab, Performance Side-by-Side Bushing, and Keaton Farms.
Woo!
All right, that's a 102.507 for Little Lucy. 102.507. Not too shabby. We're going to take calls for the calls. Give these guys time to fix their buggies. Get ready. We're going to come out and do it one more time and find out which one sucked the least. So y'all have time to hit the food.
That was a 102.507 for Braden Upchurch. All right, guys, we're going to take a quick commercial break, and when we come back, we'll have those top 5 results for you.
Rebirthed from the depths of Baja, Mickey Thompson Tires announces a new American mud terrain legend. The new Baja Legend MTZ. Silica reinforced T4 tread compound. Powerply 3-ply construction. Improved 4-pitch side biters. Proven MTZ tread styling for undisputed traction. 35 different sizes, and one is just waiting for your rig. The Baja Legend MTZ.
So we were a sponsor of SRRS in 2012, the first year, and we built our product to the racers. They had a need, we had a solution. They were breaking parts, breaking axles, and we were able to build the strongest axles on the planet for them. We developed the Big Bell CV over that period of time as well, which is the 40 spline, 47 spline stuff that you see in a majority of the rock bouncers. And we've also developed UTV for the UTV buggies and the stock class racers. We've got products for that as well. So we've really utilized this racing to develop and work with these guys the best product available. So over the years, we've worked really closely with drivers like Tim Cameron. He's been very helpful helping us develop this product line for the UTV, the Rock Bouncer, and he's been quite successful himself doing the racing, as well as a ton of others. We couldn't be here without these guys testing our product and doing these things, pushing us to the limit to help them push them to the limit.
All right, we're back.
Let me give you guys that top 5. Actually, we're going to go to 6th place. From round 1 for the UTV Cup class, Clay Kaysen took the lead with an 84, followed by Brian Smith with an 88. Nathan King with a 90, Casey Howell with a 92, Cooper Bentley with a 96.0, and then Matt Myrick in the 6th place spot with a 96.6. So, awesome racing so far today, and that's only halfway through our day. We are going to be back shortly. We're going to take a quick break, but we're not going to be gone for too long. I think we'll be back at, 3 o'clock?
Yeah.
Yeah, so not a long break at all. We are going to shut down this live feed, and we'll come back with a new one on the Rock Racing.
3 o'clock Eastern time, so it's about a 15-minute window there.
Yeah, so you guys don't go too far. We'll be back with round 2 for our UTV Cup and stock classes.